We're live. Anyway, good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to another of our Lyceum nights coming to you from the Paul Christian Spiritualist Church on the south coast of the UK. I don't even know where to begin to describe and introduce tonight's guests. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful people. No, not you, Bruno. I was talking about Rob.
Sorry.
It's going to be a long night. We are joined tonight by a wonderful gentleman who has been with us a few times on our Lyceum nights. Great supporter. One day we will meet physically. Yes. One day we will meet. Over in Florida in the USA, we have the lovely Ron Cox. Ron, good evening, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Lovely to see you. And we also have with us a newcomer to us on the Lyceum nights. And
a virgin.
A virgin, yes, virgin on the ridiculous. We have the lovely Bruno from Portugal.
As known as the immigration department.
God, we're going to get taken off air in a minute. Careful.
We will. Thank you for the opportunity of being here.
So I think I'm going to be using my mute button quite a lot tonight. Anyway, moving on. The topic of tonight's discussion, we're just looking at spiritualism and the different aspects and concepts we have from different regions, different countries, and indeed different continents. So we've got these two wonderful gentlemen to share what they know, and they're both a font of knowledge. Bruno, if I say this, Portugal is still fairly new at having spiritualism, correct?
Yeah. Portugal, okay. Every town, there's a lady, an old lady that sees spirits. Okay. Every town has I know a lady. Okay. Yeah. But since 10 years ago or something, now there's a major thing about spirituality to the point that next weekend we will have a spiritual fair, a big spiritual fair.
Wow.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So to the weird, I know a lady, to the spiritual fair. So now in Portugal, spirituality is being grown and grown every year.
That is really interesting because it's been something in my thoughts over the last couple of years, really, with these wonderful interactions we're having now across the world. We can sit and talk to people all over the world and share ideas and information. And spiritualism in Europe is still, in a lot of countries, I know I've got friends in Germany, and when they practice, they have to do it sort of like under the radar a bit. Is that the case in Portugal, or is it allowed to be a bit more out in the public?
For example, in the same street, you can have 3 different types of churches. Okay, but none of them are spiritual church. You have the spiritualist centers. Okay, and it's all everything that they do. It's based on Allan Kardec books.
So spiritists.
Yeah, spiritist church, but it's everything related to Allan Kardec, for example. But I believe that soon it will be created like a spiritual, a circle or church that allows mediums to go there and to work and to heal people the proper way, because in those centers they don't allow mediums to get paid, because God gave you this ability, so you shouldn't get paid for this. And what you do, it's not Reiki, because Reiki, it's commercialized, so you can't do it. So that's why some people are already getting, okay, so I'm tired of this and I need to find something else.
Yeah, interesting.
Speaking on that, I have one thing that just keeps going through my mind over and over again, and we're actually seeing it here. And by what you're describing over there, it really puts it into play. We're seeing a lot of the Christ consciousness starting to come through, and we're seeing the vibrations raise in people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're having massive movements over here. People's minds are changing. All sorts of things are going on, and all of this chaos that's going on all over the world. The hardest thing to do is for us to rise ourselves up above it and be in the Christ conscious mind. But it's starting to take place naturally.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I can sit and watch things going on over here, and it blows my mind to see the way people are changing their thought patterns. Okay, because our church attendance is down to 40% here in the United States. But the belief in a higher power or higher calling has risen. More people believe in something other than the organized religion. And I see that as the Christ consciousness actually unfolding over the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And now with you describing what Spain, because Portugal, you're heavy Catholic, correct?
Yeah,
in
correct,
the country. So, and this is starting to take place. Well, what created that to take place?
So I know that one of the major booms was actually my mentor, because my mentor, she had a TV program here where she was the medium. So basically every Friday night, the program was she delivering messages to the people in the audience, and then we have a host, a TV host, translating. And it was amazing because it had to be one foreigner to come here and to open the country about this. Okay, we can do this, and it was amazing.
Yes, but take it down on the deeper level, because you've already spoken about it. You've had one lady in this town that people knew about, go see her. One lady here, go see her. That's the process of the Christ consciousness rising.
Exactly.
And like I said, with all this chaos going on all over the world, it's hard for us to get above this energy, but it's something we as spiritualists, and I'm a metaphysician, so we in the spiritual community, it's hard not to get inundated by outside influences. So, and that's where we got to realize when we're at our anxiety peak that we need to go meditate, rise up to the Christ consciousness level, become above the fray, above all of this negative energy. And I see it taking place. I just, like I said, the videos I see on Facebook that people are doing, and they're talking about God. They're not talking about being in the church. Things on X, formerly known as Twitter, just things all over. And it's really hopeful to see.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. I do apologize. There was a late comer at the door. It is very interesting what you're saying about what we're seeing now on all the social media, YouTube, and other platforms similar to that. There is this void in people's lives. People have this void. The issue is, one of my things are that there are some very eloquent speakers talking about things which actually have, in my opinion, I'm a spiritualist because everything I do has an evidential trail. And it can be, we're used to the evidence given from the platform, we're used to our own evidence sitting with our guides and inspirers, and that evidence is always there. But we are seeing where this void exists, people need to fill it with something.
Yes.
And as I say, we're getting some very eloquent speakers coming out and start talking about different topics and things. And when you actually listen to what they're saying, there is no evidential basis.
Right.
It's just this, you've got to believe this. And they use a very subtle technique that if you don't believe me, well, that's because you're being negative about things.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't believe you because nothing you've said has held water.
Right.
And it's a bit of a dangerous situation with some people. And we are seeing it in the UK where people are coming into our churches with some of these other practices and thoughts and trying to append that to spiritualism. And I'm saying it isn't spiritualism is evidential. Where is the logic? Where is the evidence in what you're talking about? Oh no, you have to accept it. No, I don't.
No.
Sorry, I don't have to accept it. I accept what I can touch, feel, hear, smell, taste, prove, and not only prove once, I can go back and prove it again. That same thing will stand up to continual testing.
Absolutely.
And
I don't believe I don't think I can give a message without evidence.
Exactly.
And I agree with you. I've been to some people who just stand there and look and talk, and there's not an ounce of evidence in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's this coming from? This is coming from your ego.
Yeah.
This is not coming from spirit. You feel a spirit message when you're sitting in the room with a medium up on the platform. You can feel that energy. You don't have to be the one giving the message. That's also evidence as well.
Yeah.
But they have to be able to validate it. And one person said to me, you're standing there because you're asked to sit, or do you understand this? You're questioning spirit. I am not questioning spirit. I am questioning the sitter in front of me to make sure they're able to understand this information.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to validate it. That's not questioning spirit. I would never question spirit, because whenever I get a message, I give it right out.
Yeah.
And I say to all my guides, if this cannot be validated, please don't give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we need occasionally to check in with the sitter, because we do have, and I've seen this, I call them bulldozer mediums.
Yes.
Where they will just sit there and go blah 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 blah, loads of stuff throughout, and there is no checking. We it's that very fine line between not having a conversation with the sitter, but keeping the sitter in that loop. So you've got Angela Foster has got a beautiful diagram, and it's like 3 circles overlapping, and right in the middle where they all overlap is the sweet spot. So you've got the sitter, the medium, and spirit. You all right, Ron?
Yeah, my computer's doing something weird. It's not mine, it's my husband's.
It's the energy. And Mercury retrograde.
Well, with any luck, we start seeing all the bank details will start scrolling up. Everything's fine this end,
There's
Ron.
not much in the bank details these days.
Well, probably more than in mine. But anyway.
So you're talking, and let me say something, because you're talking, and the only thing that I'm feeling, it's like this. In this world, there's a place for everyone. So we have the higher energy and the lower energy, and those who work with validation and with work, and those ones who work to help someone, they work on the higher level. And then we have those ones who don't work on the lower energy. That basically, I like to call them fakiums. Those fakiums are the ones that basically, I've been like to a few open circles, and there was people saying, "Hey, Ron, do you?" So I'm seeing a fork. Do you connect with forks? So
Yeah, I
I'm
eat
seeing
with them
I,
3 times a day.
so I'm seeing a so Laurie, I'm seeing a pizza. Do you like pizza? So it's this
Yes,
thing. It's not
that's
details.
exactly
It's
what I'm
random.
talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing is, we don't match with them because the energy and our vibration it's different.
Right.
But there's people who match with them for a reason. Maybe it's because they are in their shell and it's easier that way, or because they are trying to see how cold and how's the water. Okay, if can I go there? Can I swim in there? Okay. The other day I saw someone on TikTok delivering messages with a pendulum.
Mm.
And they used to, so what they did was like this. So there's a grandma here. No, is it grandpa? Yes, it's a grandpa. So it's this grandpa. No, it's his grandpa. Yes, it's your grandpa. He's trying to say this. Yes. Like this is not the way a medium works.
No.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, unfortunately, there's a place for everyone, and it's fine. You need to taste a bad foods to okay. I don't like that. You need to fall to actually understand. Okay, I need to be careful. You need to go to those fakium, for example, to understand. Okay, I need to see other people, or because those ones are the ones who attracted their energy match for a reason.
Mm.
Okay, the three of us, we are here because our energy match
Right.
for okay, and that's the thing. There's a lot of I've been, like I said, to a lot of open circles, and what I feel about circles, the open circles or whatever, or the private ones, we need discipline. And when I have people smoking, when I have people shouting, when I have people going into the toilet with us, there's like we need discipline. And what I feel is like there's unfortunately there's a place for everyone, but oh well, we just need to smile and wave.
Mm. Very good, Bruno. You touched on quite a few topics there. I do like the word fakium. But yeah, discipline is key. And this is what I've been talking about with a lot of people in Europe. I said, you've got this wonderful opportunity now of being the new frontier for spiritualism, because I do like a lot of my friends in Europe and America talk about the English way when they talk about
Exactly. Yeah, I was
spiritualism.
about to say that. My
I
the way I
prefer it.
work, it's from the English way.
Yeah.
Okay, my roots, it's the English way of work, the blessing, the prayers, the closing prayers, all of that. I don't know how it's in America, for example, but since my mentor is British, everything that I do it's from the British school. Okay,
Yeah.
the British roots, and I'm a Portuguese man that now okay, I'll bring these roots and I will change for this country. But that's why I really relate of how you work. In,
Um,
the, in America, there's a lot of known mediums. For example, Matt Fraser, Tyler Henry, Teresa Caputo, for example. There are good mediums, but there's always the type of cliche of being a glam or famous. Or do you understand? Those are not the private, that kind of humble. They can be humble, but okay, it's
Mm. What's your thoughts, Ron, on the English way? Do you see that in America? Because you've been over here to the
well,
Arthur Findlay College.
yes, and I've learned both methods. And what I found that works the best for me is just it's not about one country's style. It's about what out of all your teachings, what works best for you. Because all of our teachings on how to get into the mediumship are really tools for you to connect with spirit.
mhm.
You're learning the tools. The mediumship comes naturally. The tools are always going to be there for you to fall back on for when you're stuck and not understanding what spirit is saying. Like,
Yeah.
okay, spirit, take me inside of the house and show me what they love to do the most. You know, I was reading a guy in England one time and I saw this weird blue flower that I had no idea what it is. It was just a big blue flower and I could see them everywhere, but I saw them as I was looking out the kitchen window. And he says, yes, my mother grew prize winning blue dahlias.
Okay.
I didn't know what a dahlia was.
Yeah.
Well,
That is
it's
very
using
interesting.
the tool.
Yeah.
You know, the teaching is the tool for you to get to the level that you need to be. And but the thing of it is even those, like you said to me earlier, Bruno, that you were seeing things when you were a young child. You
Yeah.
didn't have any teachings.
No.
You didn't have any tools. Neither did I. It was natural. So it's the tools that are being brought in place to help you work with spirit. Now, yes, we use different tools over here. You use different tools over there.
Exactly.
Over here, it's all about the messages coming through your guides first. Well, I'm sorry. If the spirit can communicate directly with me, why would I need the guide to be the intermediary?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
They're tools. So if you're stuck, you call on your guide. Okay, Chief Blackhawk, help me out here. I need your strength and I need your energy to raise my vibration up to understand this message fully. And boom, there I go. You know, so, but I do like the English version better.
Yeah.
And it's only because, and yes, I know this is everywhere, but ego is more prevalent here.
Yeah. We have
Okay.
issues at times with ego. What about you, Bruno, in Portugal?
Oh boo, boo boo. You have people that was boo boo. You have people that it's like, oh my god, I need help. Oh, don't worry, I can help you. Just come to our group. It's just £1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a black
Yeah.
side.
And then again, that's about ego.
Exactly. But like I
Okay,
said,
but
there's place for everyone.
But also with Portugal, I don't believe in mediums getting paid. Well, I'm giving you a service. If I came in and fixed the roof of your house, would you not pay me to fix the roof of your house?
Exactly. That's what I said.
Even in the Bible, it talks about compensation.
That's what I said to the pastor, to the church director, because he said that I shouldn't be paid. And what I said was, so God gave the ability to the actor to be empath and to be to create their characters based on the other. Okay, so why shouldn't he be paid? The God gave the ability of being mix ingredients to someone to become a chef. Why can't he be paid?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Can I just bring in one of our listeners' comments here? Lovely Moira Hawkins. Absolute. I actually met Moira up at the college on the open day. Lovely, lovely lady. Moira, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're going back where you were talking there, Bruno, or where we were talking about when you have these different levels. And she's saying, can I ask, don't you think we should try and help and advise those people rather than work at a different level?
Correct. But the thing is, we only can help those ones who allow to be helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
right.
So I think you're not in a good place. What did you think? What? Okay, so I'm sorry, you're not in the mood to understand this. So you can advise, you can try to try to understand what's happening, but that's the thing. We only can help those ones who allow to be helped.
Yeah. And it boils down again to two criteria now. Number one, people, before they go out searching for messages, searching for spirit contact, actually go in and find their own soul, find that bedrock, that foundation. And followed on by, and I know Moira lectures in the UK and Europe, and it is about good, solid education. Yes. We do have, to a small degree over here, things which I call vanity workshops, because oh yeah, well Bruno, you've done wonderfully, that was lovely, you know, oh thank you Bruno. And there's no real essence of teaching there. There's no real essence of progression. You know, and I'm sad to say they are feel-good sessions.
Mm-hmm.
The introduction to them is a bit fey and woolly, and you know everything you do is going to be wonderful, even if you stood there and exploded and go, "Oh, isn't that wonderful?" You know. So there's no. Moira is, if you, I know she might she might not like this phrase, very much of the old school mediums, where you know you sat and you use this word, Bruno, about discipline. You know, and we do, because you know society changes and spirit changes.
I love discipline, and my acting background taught me that. Taught like about punctuality, taught about integrity. If I have a group demonstration at 4 p.m., at 2:30 or 3, I'm already there, closing myself in a room, doing my meditation to start at 4. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that actually, I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry. And that's not correct. You need to actually be disciplined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moira, I think with your question here, we're also looking at different levels. I'm putting that on a vibration level. Okay, so yes, my vibration is high when I'm working with spirit, but the sitter or the person that I'm trying to advise also needs to be willing to raise their vibration up by learning about spirit. Just by simply learning, you're raising your vibration, you're opening yourself up to new concepts versus coming in with a closed mind and not willing to hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
we're all teachers in here tonight. And I'm pretty sure I speak for all of us. Sometimes our greatest disappointment, when you can see that seed in somebody, you can see there is that glimmer, you know, of if I fan this spark, this could become a raging fire. And because of their own disposition, their own whatever, you know, they don't want to take it. And it's disappointing, isn't it? It's just very disappointing. And we have to sort of like step back sometimes from these situations, because we do have that personal involvement.
Yes,
we do get emotionally attached, and just think, you know, you can, as I said, I see people and you just think, wow, you know, if you could see what I can see, you'd be amazed. And I can't come down tonight, something came up. I hate that phrase, something came up. What, are you a burglar? I don't know what. But
but that's their pathway.
And that's what we're here to do. This is to help people heal. You know, we're here to help you heal. So how can we help you heal if you're not willing to come up from your level or up from that low vibration? We can't help get you through this. And you know, I think a mediumship session without talking how spirit works or what spirit does, my personal philosophy is if you're just coming in for a mediumship session, it's not really going to help you unless you understand where the backstory is and understand how this works, because now you're going to go away with a different frame of mind and you're going to be a little bit more interested. Maybe he hit a point here that I never really thought about, and it takes him into a deeper discovery.
And as I always say, every demonstration of evidential mediumship is spirit sowing the seeds.
Yes.
I always say to people, you know what, if you get that message, once you've had that message, not only hit you auditory through what you're hearing, but here, because you felt that person.
Yes.
That's spirit saying to you, okay, what are you going to do with this? Sadly, some people just stay on that loop, and that's fine. Do you know what? I've sat with spirit and I asked them this very question. I'm a bit frustrated with a few things in the movement, and the voice came back very clearly and just said, those of you who are entrenched in your orthodoxy, we don't worry about. And I thought, I get that. And another one of my cheekier ones, said, who told you it was your job to raise their consciousness? And I went, okay, that's me told. But it is.
It's a lot of personal responsibility. And that's one thing we're lacking in the entire world today.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever my fault. It's everybody else's.
Yeah.
The
lovely Serena Schroeder from Germany, and she's just picking up on the English way of mediumship. I can only speak of myself personally, but the British standard here in Germany gave me the greatest development in my early days, and I still work in accordance with it today. Nevertheless, I firmly believe that we should develop our own working style and do not copy anything or anyone. Mediumship is a craft of nature. You're wonderful, Serena. We've got to get you on talking.
Amazing, Serena.
Yeah.
Thank you, Serena.
Serena, you're invited. You want to be our guest one night, seriously.
I definitely agree. Just like I said, I've learned the United States style of mediumship, and I've used the British style of mediumship, and I've combined the both to allow my natural abilities to come out a little fuller, a little with more evidence. And I know I can be sarcastic, a little bit compassionate at times,
No.
Not me. But at least I do it with a smile on my face.
Smiling assassin. No, you're.
Yes, and Serena, I follow you on Facebook. It's good seeing you, sweetheart.
Yeah, she is a lovely lady. I love her.
Yes.
I was talking to a group in Holland recently, and I said, you know what, you've got this, and I've said this before to groups in Europe, you've got this wonderful opportunity because you've got the template of spiritualism in this UK style that you understand. I said, but you've also got that very rare opportunity not to directly copy it, to look at it and pick out what works best. And also, and I'm sad to say this, pick out where the pitfalls come in. And make sure, because nothing is perfect. Only if you ask anybody their opinion, 10 people with an opinion on one thing, you're going to get from I love it to I hate it,
Right.
But there are some of the basic lessons and tenets in our movement. You've touched on this energy, Ron, and you, Bruno, about ego. Unfortunately,
when I was living, I used to live in London because I'm from Portugal, from Lisbon, and then I studied theater arts here in Lisbon, and then I went to study theater arts in London, and then 2020 appears, and I'm there. What can I do? First of all, in Portugal, we have a group of islands, the Azorian Islands. And since I was a kid, I was always attached to them, and I didn't know why. So 2019, I took a DNA test, the 23andMe DNA test, and I found out that the majority of my DNA come from those islands. My great-grandma was from there. So I felt the calling, and the same voice that told me, leave everything and go to London, said, leave everything and go to the islands. So it was there that I spent 8 months of my life exploring and developing spirituality in general and my method, my way of working. Because we are the three of us, we are here. Those ones who are watching, each and every one of us work in a different and unique
Yes.
way.
Yes.
We can, for example, I love Teresa's Caputo way of doing this and doing this and doing this, but it's like a pot, and everything, we put everything there, and then poof, there's a unique recipe. Poof. And one day, I woke up with the Holy One saying this sentence: you can work as your ego with spirit. You can never work with spirit using your ego. Yes, okay, that's actually a lot, because there's a lot of people that it's the ego, and we can, because already met people, met a few people that work as a mediums. And for example, one of the ego problem, it's, for example, if I'm on the street and I'm feeling something, if I feel a message to someone, I'm not going, because I don't know who the person. I don't know if she's open to it. But those ones who don't give a damn about ego goes there. Teresa Caputo style, for example. Hello, to know who I am. So basically, my name is Brittany, and I work with spirit. So your grandma, and this your grandma passed away, and oh my god, what the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? That's ego. It was your ego who said, "Oh my god, let's do it." Was not spirit who said, "Oh my god,
Right.
let's do it."
Yeah.
And with that, when I receive a message, I always say, okay, Spirit, if you want me to give this message, I need you to open the door.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One evening, my spouse and I were down at the bar having dinner, and I kept getting this message on about this woman that was just sitting 10 feet away from me. And I kept saying to Spirit, no, I can't. I'm not going to get up and walk over and give her a message. If you want me to give her this message, I need you to open the door. So I got up, went to the bar to get a couple more rounds of get another round of drinks. And this woman is sitting with her group, and she's talking about, I would love to visit a medium before my wedding.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, and I just tapped her on the shoulder and I said, have you ever sat down with a medium? She goes, no. I said, would you like to? And invited her over to the table and proceeded to tell her all about her dad that was in the spiritual world, and the message was to tell your mother to stay out of your wedding.
Okay. Last one. Okay.
But that highlights something that we often neglect, is the intelligence of spirit.
Yes.
When I first started learning how to make a link and everything, as I'm sure has happened with a lot of people, and if it hasn't, okay, I'm odd, but that's fine. I was out drinking one night and it just started, and I started talking to people, and my partner at the time dragged me out of the bar, for which I am eternally grateful. When I'd sobered up, I went, okay, Spirit, listen, if I'm going to work outside of when I'm due to work, you give me the signal and you make it possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I have finger at the back of my head. Okay, in the conversation, the conversation will unfold, and they will say exactly as your case there, Ron. Oh yeah, I've been to see a medium before, or I'm really interested in that. And I just think, okay, that's fine. The door has been opened. Here we go. The lovely Moira, again, and I agree with you, Moira. We do need a certain amount of ego, because we didn't have that ego. We couldn't be up there. We all know what it's like.
We need a balance. We need to balance our ego. That's
Exactly.
the thing, because if we have the negative ego, you are like the victim of the society, and oh
Right.
my god, I'm so sad, and you are pulling everything to the dark side, so to the negative. But
Mhm.
if you have the ego here, oh, you are the captain, you are the main one, you are the biggest of them all, and that's not correct.
Yeah.
And
We,
one of the things people are usually say, "Oh my God, so I do this and I do that and I do. Oh my God, you are amazing. Oh yes, thank you. Oh yes, thank you." When people congratulate me or say, "Oh, give me a feedback after my messages," it's not me, it's them. Because
Mm.
if you were, if you if oh my God, English. If it was not them giving me the words or anything, I was not capable of doing it. So it's all
Right.
of them, not me.
Right. Yeah.
So, so there's a word here that should be a little interchangeable. Okay. Is it ego or confidence?
That's
Good question.
different. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think we all need the confidence to do this work, but
Mm.
it's when our ego tells us that we are better than someone else that is wrong. We
Exactly.
got to learn the difference between confidence and ego.
Yeah.
That confidence is trust building with the spirit world. That ego separates us out from the spirit world.
Yeah. And because there's ego and egotistical as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're having a quick hello here, Ron, from somebody in Florida.
Oh, hi, Sue. Hi, honey. Love you. So good to see your smiling face. I call her my Tinkerbell.
Your Tinkerbell.
Yeah, she's sweet. And every time she goes around somebody, they're always happy. She's
And
nothing but a bundle of love.
what did I call you before we went live? As I was saying about the eternal Peter
Bag.
Pan. There you go. Now
Breathe.
Tinkerbell's arrived. I mean, what else do you want? Do you want a crocodile through your door? Phil Shaw, and he's saying you have mediums who are either playing to the gallery or serving. Oh, actually, I want to go into that. Or
Yes.
serving spirit with humility and
Yes.
integrity. Ron, please, a question. I hear quite often in American terminology about gallery readings or gallery services or something. Could you define what that is? Because I've never quite grasped what is a gallery.
What's what Teresa Caputo does? A gallery is a large audience.
Okay.
Right.
You're
That's it.
speaking to a large audience. So are you speaking to the gallery out of your own ego? Or are you speaking and serving spirit with your humility and integrity?
Yeah.
You know, it just, it's just another word they use.
Okay, it's cropped up a few times, and I've never been quite sure.
Well, like you guys call it an evening of platform demonstration. We call it message for a gallery for messages for spirit.
Got ya. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just the American and the UK way.
Right.
I call it platform. You know, and people over here look at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, hey, Phil, good to see you.
Quick shout out, lovely drone from Philadelphia. And funnily enough, we were talking and Joan said, I would love to have you over here to do a gallery night. And I'm like, that's nice. What does that mean? Is this like a shooting gallery where I keep going off and people have guns?
No. It's a platform mediumship demonstration.
Thank you.
Just like you guys say, catch the door, we say lock the door.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm standing there holding the door, wondering what you want me to do with it.
Suggestions on a postcard, please. Now, Ron, you're on the move, are you not, geographically?
Yes, we are. We the house is on the market. We haven't decided where we're going yet. We're still looking.
But you have it. sorry to interrupt. You have areas in America where it's sort of like spiritualist encampments, isn't it? Like,
Well, yeah, actually, we have Casadega here in Florida, which is one of the oldest spiritualist camps in the country,
yeah,
as well as Lilydale. I know you've heard of Lilydale.
yeah.
Casadega is incredible. We tend to have more events go on towards the middle of the state and not down here in the southern part of the state. Why, I have no idea. There seems to be a lot more spiritual centers and stuff up into around the Orlando, Tampa Bay, Cape Canaveral area, and then up further.
And that's really interesting that you have these sort of like groupings, like little mini villages in
Yes.
towns.
Yes.
That is really interesting way.
And, you know, I think maybe, I mean, we have a lot of, what's it called? Santeria? No. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a philosophy that's come from the Bahamas and Cuba and the southern countries. I can't. I'll think of the name. I'm sorry. I went
That's
blind.
right.
But
That's
a
right.
lot of them practice. It's almost borderline voodoo.
Yeah.
Okay, but so yeah, it comes from this type of healing work comes from like Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba. I can't think of the actual name of it. I'm drawing a blank.
Santeria.
Santeria. Yes, thank you, Sue. Santeria.
Well done, Sue.
We have a lot of that down here. So,
Okay. That leads very nicely into a question here from Serena, and she's directing this to you, Ron, saying, could you describe the American way of working a little bit, and how does it differ from the British standard?
well, there's a couple of different things. Where the UK teaches how to sit in the power.
Mm-hmm.
Now we teach it here, but there's not a strong emphasis on it. Okay, the emphasis is on the meditation. Where if I do a meditation before I'm doing a reading, my mind is too subdued. Okay, versus where I'm sitting in the power, my mind and my vibration is more elevated. Okay. The UK, you're typically dealing, yes, you guys know your guides and stuff, and you don't put a big emphasis on their names, okay, because the guides are so interchangeable. Over here, they say you're going to have 9 guides that are going to be with you forever.
Okay.
You know, they're not interchangeable. Well, if none of those 9 guides fit my need at the time, how is my need going to be met?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because another guide would have to come in. Just like all my guides, none of them deal with physical mediumship, and I wanted to deal with physical mediumship. If I only have 9 guides, one has to be replaced. Okay, so you guys, they're more interchangeable there, where they're more, they're with you all your life here. Okay. And I have a couple of guides that have been with me that have not left me I've been working with them for 10 years now. You know, and those are my basic guides, but I have others that come in and out.
Yeah.
Over here, they do a lot of spiritual readings. There's no evidence behind them at all.
Okay.
where I need the evidence. Because if I don't have the evidence, I'm just standing there. I could talk about anything in the world. They are very close together, but there's a lot of differences as well.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry, Serena. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I'm drawing a lot of blanks.
I think maybe what Serena's asking, if up until recently you were running a centre or a church.
I tried.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
If I were to turn up at your doors for one of your gathering services or whether, what would I expect? What would that presentation be like that? With me sat in the congregation, what would I see?
Well, we definitely start off, we open everything up with a prayer. Very first thing. And then I take him in on a meditation, a guided meditation, just to help center their body, take them out of the outer world and bring them back into the inner world so they're very in tune with themselves. And through that guided meditation, I allow them to bring in their guides. You want to bring in your guides if you need a question to be answered, bring them in with you. Then after the meditation, I would typically do the Lord's Prayer because it is very Christian based over here.
Okay.
And that really, a lot of people, for some reason, it opens them up completely. And now I've heard this philosophy before that just reciting the Lord's Prayer brings all your chakras into alignment. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I know after I speak the Lord's Prayer, my energy goes through the roof. Okay. And then I would do my lecture or my talk, whatever it be, say the temporary self and the true self. Okay, I would talk on it. And then afterwards, I would play some music. That's where I'm sitting in the power before we do messages and bringing everybody's energy up. And then I would get up and give messages out to who the messages were coming to. Some nights everybody would get a message. Some nights not everybody would get a message. And that was basically the 2-hour portion. And then, of course, afterwards, we do donations and we did announcements and everything. And then we'd close out with Let There Be Peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
For 2 hours?
About an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how many people are there for the messages. If there's 20 people there and everybody see, that's the thing over here. Everybody they come to a spiritualist church for everybody to receive a message.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you're working all that time giving out messages to everyone, and you don't want to disappoint people. And if I stood in front of them and I felt their energy and stuff and a message didn't come through, I would say, you must be really doing well in life because nobody's coming through to help you or anything like that. I put it in a gentler way, but you're doing really good in life.
Yeah. It's still included. Excellent. That's really interesting.
You got to include them. And then if you're not receiving anything, I would say, do you have any questions for me for spirit? So everybody's still included.
Yeah.
But some nights the energy was so strong, you're going through all 20, 25 people, and it doesn't even seem like you've been there for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. When you're on there, the time just goes.
Yes. And I hope that answers your question, Serena.
It does indeed.
It does.
Bruno.
Me.
You little monkey, you. I know you're going to be presenting a demonstration of evidential mediumship with Val Hood, who's coming over to
Yeah.
see you.
So before that, I'll be presenting next weekend on the spiritual fair. I will do a group demonstration in the theater. And I asked people. I asked the team, the production team. So how many people can attend? 400. For for 100 people. Okay. And so basically, my I will be nice. My butt, it's basically squeezing because of all the pressure that everything is about to happen. But then
Thanks, Bruno.
no, because I'm a very honest person. I'm a very honest person, and I'm
Are you
what.
familiar with the phrase "too honest"?
No, because the honesty is never too much. But thank you for expressing. And then the Valhu demonstration will be 2 days, 3 days after, so on the 12th of September.
Yeah.
I will be one of them. I'll be just translating, and then the other one I'll be working alongside, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment in Portugal, you couldn't go along to a full spiritualist service.
Mhm.
So yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you
yes.
can't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we can.
Bruno, it's
We
getting
can.
dark and I'm old. Stop it.
I'm sorry.
So, Bruno, there you go. Put you back on the spot now. If you were to say, right, next week you are going to do a spiritualist service in Portugal, how would you structure that? How would you think about structuring that? What would be the presentation?
So I'll do a Zoom. I'll do online and that way more people will be able to attend.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the thing will be, of course, will how can I explain? It will be like a prayer, and then we were going to deliver messages, and then the closing prayer. And the only thing I love to do private readings, but I love the group ones because we learn a lot with the message. That, for example, Ron can receive a message, and then you, oh my God, I can connect with that. Oh my God, I feel that as well. So you are learning as well. You are, oh my God, I feel
Yes.
that this message for me as well.
Mm.
And we should do more groups and groups of groups, because what I feel is like when I was a kid, I was on a bus and I saw a gentleman sad. He looked sad, and he was like this, looking through the window. And then on the right side of the bus, I saw a gentleman as well, that he also looked sad, and he was also looking outside to the window. And I was okay, but if the two of them were together, they actually could talk and could feel better. And because they were each one of them, they were looking on their side, and they will still be sad. And then I start to feel okay, they were both sad, but they don't understand that they're not the only ones. And then I start to work alongside the spirit, and I start to feel that okay, my pain, it's not my pain. My pain, it's your pain as well, and you suffer from this as well, but you don't talk about it because you feel that no, it's only me, so I don't want to bummer anyone. But then these group demonstrations, these spiritualist centers, the spiritualist demonstrations, they are very, very important, at least here for Portugal, to understand that, first of all, death doesn't exist. We don't die. We never die. Our physical body does because we have expired date, but our soul doesn't. And it's through the validation that spirit gives to each one of us that we know that, because if death actually exists, we couldn't connect with them.
Yeah.
Okay, and the group demonstration actually allows people to heal. It's not only one of them. So when Teresa Caputo does those galleries, I understand the ego part, but what I feel is there'll be a bunch of Loris there. There'll be a bunch of Rons there. So the Loris messages, it's not just for one Lori, it's for a bunch of them. So yeah, so I believe that groups, we need to do groups and groups and groups and groups.
Lovely, lovely. The reason I emphasize the spiritist be the spiritualist, because we did a lot of work with our local spiritist association, and I met some amazing people and had amazing experiences with them, really. In Europe, there does seem to, where it's still a fairly new concept, there is this sort of like meshing of ideas where spiritists and spiritualists come under the same banner, the same as psychics and mediums come under the same banner. And there does seem to have been, especially since 2020 and events like this and others, where we can talk and we can start sort of like just unraveling the language that we use slightly, because we do use generic terminology like medium. You say a medium to somebody, you go, oh, they talk to dead people. No, a medium.
Here in Portugal, yes, here in Portugal. Yeah.
And the same still a lot in the UK. You know, it's only about they give messages from dead people, whereas we try and unravel that and just say, well, what is your mediumship? Are you a philosophical medium? Are you a healing medium? Are you an evidential medium? You know, and it goes on and on and on and on. So that's why I get a little bit pedantic about just trying to pull the language apart a bit. It helps people understand better, because, as I say, there is a laziness moved in with our descriptors of what we do with the spirit. So it does cause a bit of confusion. Gentlemen, what a wonderful night.
Oh.
Thank you both.
That was very quick.
Have you got a parting shot? Nothing rude, please, Bruno. Is there anything you would like to say as a farewell to the wonderful people that joined us? Thank you, everybody who's been putting comments in. Thank you all for sharing out, and thank you for joining us tonight, or catching us later on catch up, or listening in on our podcast, which will come out of tonight's talk. So, beauty before age, we go to the lovely Ron for a closing thought.
My closing thought is to use your meditation to bring your vibration up to the Christ consciousness level. Mm-hmm. So you can be above, not better than, but above all of this chaotic energy that's going on in the world today. Yeah. And if we remember one thing, just remember this. In the Bible, Matthew 4:22, Christ says, "Therefore, if thine eyes be single, thy body shall be filled with light." And what Christ is talking about is if thine eyes be single, talking about looking through your third eye. Mm-hmm. And what is light? But light is nothing but photonic energy. And what does the spirit world give us? Their love and their energy. So go into meditation, bring yourself up to that Christ consciousness level, and let your body be filled with light. Thank you. It was wonderful to be here with you again, Lowry, and meeting you, Bruno.
Thank you, my dear.
Wonderful time. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, thank you, Ron. That was amazing. Lovely, Bruno. I know somehow, some way, you and Ron will be here physically at Poole at some time in the future. It will happen. We're making.
I just need the invitation and the bed, and I'll be there.
He's already promised me the bedroom.
You boys can fight it out. The winner gets to sleep in my bed. or is that the loser? I don't know.
Well, depend.
Bruno, sir, have you got a closing thought, please?
Anything. The only thing that I was hearing was trust the process. This week was a completely wreck and a completely nightmare. I started the week with you, Laurie, on Monday. We chat, and everything was fine. And then I found out that I had to move out because I was being kicked out of the apartment where I used to live. And then it was a huge mess. Spirit was only saying, trust the process. Everything will be fine. Don't panic. Everything will be fine. Don't panic. But I was panicking because how the hell can I have a room? Because all the students are having the room and I don't have a room. And Spirit was saying, trust the process. And now, in less than 1 week, every day there was a lady saying, I have a room, I have a room, I have a room. And said, no, I don't want the room. I don't want the room. And now I said, okay, bummer. I don't care. I trust the process. And then quick way, I'm in a room, very peaceful, very well located. Okay. And the only thing, and I feel completely in peace. Okay, and relax. And what I feel is this: Spirit always talks and speaks with us and try to guide us. And we don't understand because our ego, it's always try to no, don't care, no, don't do this. And we need to understand the difference between Spirit's voice and the ego. Spirit, it's calm. Trust the process. Everything will be fine. Ego, it's oh my God, we are in panic. We need this, we need that, and we need to actually understand this. When something happens, we need to be able to stop. We are always racing and running, and sometimes we just need to stop and okay, let's just walk or stop. And it's just the ego, it's just spirit. If it's spirit, please give me a sign about this.
Yeah.
I was dating a guy. I was going out with a guy, and before I'm finishing, I was dating a guy, and all of a sudden I gave, okay, spirit, if he's not good for me, show me this sign. Bam. Okay, if he's not really good for me, give me this sign. Bam. And spirit did. I said, it's YOLO. You only live once. I don't care. I went there and it was not fine. So Spirit was always giving the signs. I was the only one who's not be able to hear because of the ego. Yeah. So all of this week, the huge mess, trust the process. Be able to stop and to start to trust and to listen to the Spirit.
Brilliant. I only have one question. The room, the people that actually own the flat and live there, they do realise that you're now living in that room, do they? Or you've just moved in and not told them?
When I moved, they were saying, "Oh my God, what you doing?" I speak with that people.
Great.
And then,
that's what you want to hear from a flatmate. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, thank you, everybody. Next week, guest I'm working on. I'm hoping to get hold of a wonderful gentleman from Canada to talk about healing, because we haven't revisited spiritual healing for a little while, and I think it's well past time that we got our teeth back into that subject. So in the meantime, everybody, have a wonderful, blessed day. Please remember, at the medium's behest, tomorrow's service will not be streamed live. If a medium ever says to me they don't want the camera on, that is absolutely not a problem, because the medium is a guest of the church and we work together. So no live service coming out of Paul tomorrow. However, in the evening at 6:30 GMT, we are starting up a series of divine services on Zoom. Slightly different format to our regular services. We have Lola Kis Keaton from Denmark. She will be giving all the prayers and the service. Jack Eckhart, also from Denmark, will be taking the healing segment, followed by Angela Foster, DSNU, who will be giving the philosophical address, and then Frederick Hagland from Sweden, who's a CSNU holder. He will be giving the evidential mediumship. I'm just trying something out because Zoom's really powerful, and I just think, you know what, you can actually put a really good presentation out on Zoom. We're missing a trick. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. The link to that is on all the advertising on the church page, my page, and available on our website. The link will not change up until January of next year. I've programmed these services in. So it's just going to give us a chance to bring in all these wonderful people we're meeting across the world and amalgamate them in a service. And each instead of working our demonstrators to death, which is what we do, you know, do the prayer, do the reading, do the philosophy, do the meet, you know, it's a long, hard slog. So it's going to be more spread out and more energy coming in. So looking forward to that. So 6:30 GMT tomorrow night. In the meantime, on behalf of our two wonderful guests, thank you all so much for spending the evening with us. And we look forward to catching up again. And God bless. Have a wonderful night. Ron, I loved your closing thought. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Eloquent. So eloquent. Bruno, I loved that as well. Trust the process. Yeah. Yeah. Sit back. Trust the process. Let it go. Brilliant. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, UK.